Hi Cancer, this is your forecast for the month of November 2016. This is a general reading for Cancer Sun, Cancer Rising, or Cancer Moon. If you have a different rising or moon sign, you might find watching those videos helpful or more informative for you. Please remember that these are general readings, and so they may not apply to everyone. If you would like a personal reading that is specific to you, please visit my website at thealchemistastrologer.com, provided on the link at the upper corner. If you have visited my site before, you'll need to clear your browser's cache for the schedule button to function properly. And Cancer, I want to thank you for tuning into my channel. I know that your time is valuable and I appreciate you sharing it with me. So the first week, you appear to be working diligently on something. This is possibly something that you love, something that you are very interested in. You're growing something. Now, some of you are working to gain some knowledge about something. Maybe you're taking a class and you're getting some training, or you're acquiring some new skills, or you're working on a talent. Some of you are actually working on things that are tangible. There's craftsmanship involved. So this could be a labor of love for you. For others of you, you are going into business for yourself. This is self-employment, or you're making some kind of a career change. Maybe you're getting a new job, or you're entering into a new field of work. Some of you, you're getting some income from your newly acquired skills, or you're focused on achieving some goal, but something that can bring you some kind of tangible security. So you could be cautiously looking at your investments this month. Maybe you're going over your budget. Maybe you're paying your bills. Maybe you're learning how to better manage your money. So whatever goes on this week, whether there are some changes or some challenges, these are going to get you motivated. You're going to be inspired. You're going to be excited. And it's going to strengthen your determination to get ahead and achieve your goals. So again, you could be looking at various ways to bring in more money for yourself, or you could just be taking a more active role in how you spend your money and how you invest it. So maybe you're getting a second job or a new job, or again, entering into self-employment, or just working on building your savings. This could be a week where you gain some recognition for those skills. You get a promotion, or you decide to go on an interview because you know you deserve to make more money. Some of you are working on your health, and now you're taking some steps to improve it. Others of you are in a rut, and you feel as if you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over. So you're not as happy, and this could be a week where you're really looking at your finances because something has come up that you didn't expect, and now you're going to have to put out a large sum of money. You're going to have to go into your savings account and empty it because something came up that you weren't expecting. Others of you, again, you feel like you're in a rut. You're not moving, you're not growing, and maybe there are things happening on the job that you don't like. There are issues within the company that you're working for, and you realize that you need to take a closer look, and there's a concern for your future. For others of you, you are working on your health. There's a medical issue that has come up, either for you or somebody connected to you, and it's more serious than you thought, and it's going to require your attention. Now, this is a card of detail, working out the details. So some of you can be very nitpicky this week. Maybe you're too focused, or you're, being extremely petty about the things that are annoying you or bothering you. And so you may be in a comfort zone. Maybe you're at a good job, but it doesn't feel right. Maybe it pays the bills, but that's about it. So for you, this comfort zone is like being in a rut. Now, many of you are working on something again that you really care about, and you're trying to move that to the next level, whether that's an endeavor, a pursuit, or a relationship. For others of you, this is the beginning of something that you're working on. And so you're in the honeymoon phase of that. And maybe you feel a great sense of exhilaration about what you're working on. For others of you, you just need to open yourself up more to possibilities. Now, the second week, you have a major card, the Tower. So this comes in quickly and unexpectedly. This is like a bolt out of the blue. So something that you felt maybe was solid in your world is collapsing this week. Or there's some kind of modification or a disruption of some sort. Or you finally have come to some type of awakening, and maybe it's even shocking. Some revelation or truth or traumatic experience or crisis has awakened you, and you realize that you've got to get moving on something. There's a major transformation that's taking place that's probably taking you by surprise. You may have decided to let go of some things. Maybe you're purging some things. Maybe something that you believed, you now realize, well, that's not true. Now, if you went on an interview last week, this is just a transition that's changing your life, but for the positive. Maybe this is a new job, or you're changing your residence, or you finally decided, this relationship is not working. I want to separate. I want to get a divorce. Some of you, maybe you're working on your property because there are some concerns about your property. If this was a health issue, this is something that has erupted, that has come on suddenly. These are things that, like high blood pressure or stroke or heart attack, or just issues that have come on suddenly with regard to your health. Now, for others of you, maybe you are working on something, growing something, maybe a connection or a relationship, a romance. And this could be a week where there's an intense chemistry. You being hit by a bolt of lightning, and the connection between the two of you is electric. So, maybe something takes you by surprise, and you're, socializing more. There's some kind of budding romance taking place, or a new friendship being built. Or for others of you, this is just a sudden opportunity to work. Maybe this is work on the internet. Some of you, though, you've gotten in a rut and you have decided, I just can't deal with this anymore. I want to be free. You want to break out of a confining situation. And so that's either happened for you by circumstance or by choice. And so this could be, you break free from a job. So whatever it is, this is the week where it's time for you to make some changes, to look at the things that aren't working for you, things that are holding you back, places in your life where you feel stuck or confined, or you don't have the freedom that you want to, and begin to make those changes for yourself. In some area of life, you've gotten too comfortable. You may be in a rut, and you're trying to hold on to something that's not serving you any longer. And so if you don't recognize it on a conscious level, the universe is going to step in and challenge you so that you can wake up. Now, this could be, again, something physical. If you have not been paying attention to your health, You didn't attend to something when you should have. Maybe you knew that you needed to go to the doctor, or you should have been on medication, or you should have been changing your diet, or you haven't been exercising enough, or there was an issue but you just felt a fear, or you just didn't have time to address it. This is the week where that may come up, where you waited too long and now you're going to be forced to seek some medical attention. This could be a week where if your relationships have been stagnant, you haven't been paying attention and they're not growing, or you don't feel like you've been moving forward in them, this is a week where you need to be more emotionally flexible. This could be a week where you are getting a lot more freedom and you're having to produce more professionally and materially on your own, and it's going to bring about more success for you when you do that. Some of you are coming to some type of awakening, and you are addressing those areas that have held you back, and you're being very bold and forthright. In fact, you may be saying some things that catch people off guard. You may say something, and maybe this is an argument, or maybe you just make a bold statement. Maybe you just really shoot from the hip and tell somebody exactly how you feel. Something has come up, something that you didn't expect, but you can appreciate where you stand now, and now you can make the changes that you need to in order to provide for your own sense of security, well-being, and continuity. So you're having to reorganize some aspect of your life. Now, some of you are getting some rude awakenings. You're going to hear something that you don't like. Or again, you're holding on to something and trying to convince yourself that this is a good situation when indeed you know that it's not. Or maybe you're at work and you're not happy about your job. Maybe they don't know that you're not happy. Maybe you're looking at other prospects, and so you're just telling them enough of what they need to know and you're not going beyond that. Or if you're in a relationship, you're being very careful about what piece of information you give out. You've decided it's for the best that they only know this or they only know that. But for some of you, that's going to create some misunderstandings. Now, many of you may feel as if whatever is happening, you're a victim, that it's happening to you. But just know that on some level, you knew this. This card is connected to Uranus in some ways, which is the higher octave of Mercury. Uranus is about your intuition and those sudden insights that you're getting from your higher self. So on some level, you knew something, but you chose to ignore it. Maybe it was comfortable to ignore that. And so you placed yourself in a position that put you at risk. And now it's catching up with you. So refusing to accept what you couldn't change or acknowledging that you needed to make some changes has become your worst enemy. Now, hopefully this is like you've gained some good insights, maybe something productive in connection to work, or maybe you're gaining more freedom at work, or maybe you're realizing that you need to you don't want to be confined anymore. You want to break out. And so you need to get out into the community. You need to break out of your shell. Maybe you're realizing that you need to put your work out there. You need to put your skills out there. Now, the third week, you have a feeling of being trapped. So before you wanted to break free, and now this third week, you're holding yourself back again. Maybe you're putting boundaries around yourself, or you feel as if you can't move forward. Or maybe something happened that was so shocking, now you feel stuck. You feel like you really don't know what to do. Maybe you feel like you're caught in some kind of vice, damned if you do, damned if you don't. You really don't know which way to move. Now, maybe you don't have enough information, or maybe you're failing to see the facts that are before you. So maybe, you want to break out of this really oppressive environment, but you're not asserting yourself, or you don't know how to do it. You feel mentally blocked in some way. You don't have the confidence to move forward. And it's causing you a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry, and a lot of negative emotion that's hindering your progress. So in essence, you could be self-sabotaging because you fail to act on something. But for some of you, again, this relates back to illness. And so you feel trapped because of an illness, perhaps. Some illness is debilitating you in some way. Now, for some of you, you are maybe angry or upset, or there's been a confrontation, or you feel traumatized in some way because you're being overburdened. There's some extra work or something that has come your way that's upsetting to you, where now you're having to change your whole schedule, your priorities, your agenda, and it's a situation that you can't easily get out of. Circumstances are holding you to it. You could neither prevent it nor control it. And for others of you, you thought you had worked something out, you thought something was resolved, but you have not. The good thing is this week, it could be full of frustration, but it's not going to last long. It's going to blow in and blow out. The major thing is that you weren't told something in a timely manner. It came maybe out of the blue and at the last minute. And you're wondering, well, why did you wait this long to let me know? Why did you put me in this position? Now I have to make all these changes to accommodate what you should have told me a long time ago. Maybe this is what you've done to yourself. Now you're trapped because something you should have taken care of that you knew you should have, but you didn't. So this is likely you or somebody close to you waited too long with regard to something, whether that was something related to health or something personal or something professional. And you probably, again, it was unexpected. You didn't see this coming. So you're going to have to persevere a little bit to get things back on track, and it's going to require that you take your time and put some effort. So again, you've gotten some awakening this week, and you realize that you need to focus on what's happening to you right here and right now, because there was something that was overlooked previously. Now, the fourth week, you have the Death card. More major changes. You're undergoing some transition. Now, for some of you, you have felt trapped. You broke out, and this is the end of feeling trapped. Maybe you left your job, or you renewed something in some way. You rejuvenated something that you thought was over and dead and done with. For some of you, this is operating in a way where you're clinging to the past because you're afraid of making those changes. But this could be a week where you're wrapping up some unfinished business. You're making some transformation. Now, maybe you're making some transformation to some property. Maybe you're paying for something, or you're working to improve something. But this should be a week where you're leaving something from the past behind and renewing yourself in other ways. So you may be purging something, letting something go. This could be some inevitable ending or a change in your status in some way, whether that's starting a relationship, professional, personal, or leaving it. Maybe you're leaving home or relocating, or the end of some relationship, but you are shedding something that doesn't fit anymore. It's like a piece of clothing that's gotten too small. It may have been comfortable at one time, but it doesn't fit anymore. You want to feel liberated and renewed by buying yourself something new. So you're making a transition. And so whatever has happened over the course of the month, maybe there was an opportunity that you really wanted that came up suddenly, or maybe a challenge that came out of the blue. Whatever it is, you are very determined by what has happened. It's motivating you either to survive or make some necessary changes, reinvent yourself in some way. Because again, you don't want to be in situations where you can't grow, where you feel stuck, where you feel confined, and where things are uncertain and vague for you. You know, you're naturally very security minded. And so that's what's on your mind this month. And you're willing to do what's necessary to provide that security for yourself. If that means making some huge changes, you're willing to do that. You're motivated. So again, you could make changes where you end something without necessarily sacrificing the whole shebang. Or you pick up a friendship, or, you know, you make a connection that you had from a long time ago. So your key is to remain flexible. These changes that are coming in, they may not be comfortable. They may not be something that you were expecting or anticipating. It was unpredictable. But if you are flexible enough to accommodate a situation, then you're going to get out ahead. Now, some of you, whatever has happened was unpleasant. It was, you know, you reached a crisis point. And so there's a temptation for you to dwell on that, to see the dark side, the negative. You know, you're a very emotional sign and very concerned with the past. Sometimes you have to let go of the past and move on. But if you're focused on what is wrong, you know, and again, you had the first week, the Eight of Pentacles, where there could be a total, you know, you could be too focused, too absorbed, petty annoyances, grievances, complaints, nitpicking. If that's what you choose to focus on, you're going to make excuses for yourself to not move forward, and you're not going to have the opportunities that you would otherwise. So this is telling you, don't close yourself off. Don't create those walls and boundaries. Sometimes you have to talk things out, hammer out those differences. But if you are in a situation where you are choosing to be in denial, or you are holding yourself back, sabotaging yourself, being resistant to making some changes that could improve your life, then you're going to be stuck in this situation. So you really have a lot of personal power in moving things forward for yourself. This is a month of self-regeneration, whether that is through your financial picture, emotionally, physically, or psychologically. You have the power to reach the top of any objective that you choose, any endeavor, any pursuit. You have the possibility of finding a better way to do things as long as you are ready. And this could very well be in the way you express yourself, putting yourself out there, letting your inner quality shine, focusing on your creativity and transforming it, growing it, blossoming it, and maintaining some confidence. Others of you, you're being oblivious to a situation because you're just self-absorbed on the negative aspects. Now, the underlying energy is this King of Pentacles. So some of you may be focused on making some large purchases or acquiring some assets in some way. There could be financial transactions in the picture. This is Earth energy. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female. Maybe you have that Earth energy in your chart, or the situation calls for it. But this is a month of practicality and no nonsense. So for many of you, maybe you're taking a closer look at some things, you know, your efforts, your dreams, and you don't want to waste time on something that's not going to profit you in some way. And maybe this is a person that you're dealing with, somebody who has the possibility of investing or advising you financially about something that you're doing. So he's not going to be willing to invest in it if he doesn't feel that it's going to turn a dollar in some way. And he's a traditionalist. So, and this could be you. Maybe you're holding yourself back because you're so security minded that you want to go what you know is safe, what's tried and true, unless you feel that it's almost a guarantee that the money's going to be there if you make a change. So you may not be sharing, you know, you may be holding a lot in, and at some point, possibly the second week, you're going to have an outburst. But maybe you were holding some things in, all of your worries, your concerns, and maybe that has been turning in on yourself and affecting your health in some way. You may be, there may have been some unexpected bills that came up. And so you're having to be very careful about the way you spend your money, or there was money that you expected to save. And you may feel that you have to justify your purchases to yourself or maybe to another person. Now, maybe this is going to the extreme where somebody's becoming, a tightwad, or there's a resentment of having to spend money, or maybe there's such a strong desire for power and wealth that someone is willing to just bulldoze everything in their path in order to get it. So this could be a month where there's, challenging frustrations, some power struggles, issues connected to being a workaholic or being materialistic. But this is also a month where you're looking for new avenues of growth, whether that's economically or emotionally. This is a month of focusing on your ambitions, being security-minded, and achieving some worldly success. You want to earn from the hard work that you've put in, and you may be focusing on your investments and skillfully managing your money, and you could be getting some financial advice. Maybe you're coming in contact with bankers, or you're trying to put money in the bank, or you're involved in money talks, or some of you are trying to climb that corporate ladder, or you're being a conscientious worker. But the bottom line is providing and protecting your investments, your resources, your security. Whether that's you doing it or coming in contact with people that you feel can provide that avenue for you. And you're willing to work long and hard to achieve your goals. You're looking for success, recognition, and you want to bask in the glow of your own glory. Some of you, if this is about relationships, you want to settle down. You want something that's more centered. And you're going to be very critical and very selective about the people that you get involved with. In spite of that, you might decide to go out on a date, or you might put out a proposal or tell somebody how you really feel. You might begin a connection, a partnership, a relationship. And it's likely that you guys are going to have similar outlooks, similar goals, similar values. For some of you, though, you're in connections where either you or the other person is just too critical or too controlling. In which case, this is going to be a month for you to recognize that it's time for you to stop struggling and accept whatever your situation is. Now, this is all going to tie into, your attachment to people, to situations, and your feeling of how much you are giving out and what you are receiving in return for that. And it's also going to center around your sense of personal security and your belonging. And that's going to be the motivating factor behind your decisions and behind your actions this month. The only thing is, you don't have any ones in here. And so there's an inaction. You're holding yourself back. You're not moving. The key for the Death card is to reorganize yourself in some way, to not be stagnant, and as well as the Tower card. So there's some lethargy and inaction taking place within a situation. And there are no cups in here. So there's a lack of emotion. So you may not be vested enough, or you may not be in the place yet where you feel the strong desire and emotional force that would push you to make some necessary changes. All right, Cancer, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I would greatly appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, your kind comments. The more you engage with me, the more enjoyable I find this work. For those of you who have already offered your support, please know that I'm grateful and committed to you. Have a wonderful November, and I look forward to speaking with you next month.